Hey guys, it's Adrian here, the Canadian in a t-shirt, and welcome to this free look at my members only video where I'll be showing you what Canadian stocks I'm buying in my TFSA account in fall 2025. Plus, I have two huge milestones in my TFSA and I can't wait to share it with you guys. So to celebrate, I decided to make this video public and free for everyone. Just like I've done a few times in the past, I want to give you guys a sneak peek into what my members only videos look like. These are the videos with those black thumbnails where I do a full portfolio reveal and break down exactly what stocks I'm buying every single month. If you like this kind of content, please hit the join button down below. It really does help support my channel and I do appreciate it. Before I get into those two milestones, first I want to talk about how my portfolio is doing as a whole. You can see right now that my TFSA is worth about $132,000, and this is a really cool fact. The last time I made a TFSA milestone video like this was about a year ago. In fact, 11 months ago in October 2024. In that video a year ago, I had just crossed the $100,000 milestone in my TFSA. Today, my TFSA is worth $132,000. My TFSA has grown by $32,000. And here's the amazing thing. Most of this money did not come from me. I haven't contributed very much. I've only put in about $6,000 into my TFSA this past year. But the remaining $26,000, that did not come from me. That's just tax-free profits. I didn't have to work for that money, but I get to keep it. And with my portfolio overall, about half of this money did not come from me. And that leads to my second milestone I'll get to in a minute. Where did this money come from? A combination of capital gains and dividends. Right here, you can see the market is red. It's down about 0.58% today. And I don't care. I do not care about short-term fluctuations. What I do care about is long-term growth. And that's what we see right here. I have about $33,000 worth of capital gains. What does that mean? That means if I were to sell all of the stocks and ETFs in my TFSA, I would have made $33,000 because these assets have grown in value. Their stock price has gone up. But that's just capital gains, this $33,000 number. On top of that, I'm also earning dividend income, and that leads us to milestone number one. Looking here on my Excel dividend tracker spreadsheet, you can see I just crossed a dividend milestone of $7,000 a year in my TFSA. Every single year, I'm earning over $7,000 of passive income tax-free. Why is this number so special? Well, now my dividends have exceeded the TFSA contribution limit every year. If my TFSA was maxed out, I could only contribute $7,000 into the TFSA in a given year. That's how much money I could put in myself. Even if I didn't contribute anything into my TFSA, I'm earning over $7,000 in dividends, totally on autopilot. And remember, dividend income does not affect your contribution room. So this year, I can contribute up to $7,000 of my own money, and on top of that, I'm earning another $7,000 in dividends. And this right here is the magic. Right now, the rate of growth of my investments is exceeding the rate that I can contribute. My money is growing on its own faster than the money I can put in. That right there is exponential growth. My wealth is growing and accelerating faster and faster. That's the power of investing and time in the market. When you first start investing, most of your money will come from you, your contributions. But give it time and let them grow and compound. That compounding is unstoppable. Your investments will become a runaway train. And that's what I'm seeing right now. My investments are working harder and growing faster than the rate I can contribute. And it's totally on autopilot. I haven't been able to contribute $7,000 into my TFSA this year. Most of my money has been going into the FHSA, the first home savings account, as well as my real estate projects. I haven't been able to max out my TFSA, but my investments are doing the work for me. My portfolio is growing on its own, thanks to these dividends and the fantastic capital gains. Even better, all of these dividends, I've never spent $1 of that income. All of it is being reinvested through drips. That's what these green rows are right here. What a drip means is that instead of receiving that dividend as cash, your dividend is automatically reinvested to buy an extra share of that stock. You can see that right here in my transaction history. These are all of my reinvested dividends or DRIPs over the past few weeks. I receive dozens of new shares every single month. All of these dividends are reinvested. Because of that, next month I'll receive even more dividends and I'll reinvest those to buy even more shares. More shares, more dividends. More shares, more dividends. It keeps growing and growing and it's accelerating. That right there is exponential growth. That's what you see here in my Excel dividend tracker spreadsheet. As always, I include a link down below to download this template totally for free. Just hit download and then you can enter your own numbers and use it as you wish. And watch my DRIPs explain video to see the power of this compounding and to see exactly how this template works, what all the columns mean, etc. So that's milestone number 1. I reached a dividend income of $7,000 a year in my TFSA. Now for milestone number 2, remember my TFSA portfolio is worth $132,000 and half of this money did not come from me. It came from long-term profits. I have capital gains and dividend income. If I put them both together, I get my total return. Let's take a look. Here you can see my TFSA is worth $132,000. It's at all-time highs, but here's the amazing thing. Half of this money did not come from me. I've only put in $68,000 of my own money. That's my net deposits. That's how much money I've contributed. The remaining half, about $64,000, that's just investment profits. I didn't have to work for that money, but I get to keep it, tax-free. I only put in $68,000 of my own money, but because I let my investments grow and compound, I've almost doubled my money and earned an extra $64,000. Where does this number come from? Well, remember, I have about $33,000 of capital gains plus the dividends I accumulate every year. This year, I'll get about $7,000 in dividends. Last year, I got about $6,000. Adding it all together, I've accumulated about $30,000 in dividends in my TFSA. 30K dividends plus 33K capital gains, I get a total return above $63,000. As a percentage, that represents a total return of 93%. I've almost doubled my money in my TFSA. And for me, that's an incredible milestone. Guys, I'm so excited, I couldn't be happier, and I can't wait to see this continue to grow. I'm not doing this to brag or show off. I am not a genius. I am not doing anything special. I'm just letting time work its magic. All I do is I buy quality companies and ETFs, and I hold on to them. That's it. I let time do the work. I'm not buying and selling, day trading, trying to outsmart the market. I'm just holding. All it takes is patience and consistency. That's it. Invest whatever you can and as often as you can, and then just ignore the noise. Move on with your life. Let your money work for you. Eventually, you'll get to the point where I'm at, where even if you don't contribute a whole lot, your investments will grow on their own at a rate faster than you can contribute. That's it. That's the secret. It just takes time. Okay, now it's time to buy something. You can see right here, I just made an instant deposit of $800 into my TFSA. I now have $815 available as cash, so what will I buy? I'm currently on tour with the Blossom team. We just wrapped up our Vancouver and Calgary stops. We also visited Portland, Oregon. Up next, we have Toronto this weekend, Montreal next week, and then we're doing some US stops, as well as an unofficial community meetup in Winnipeg. All that to say, I'm not at home. I'm currently living out of airports and hotels. That's why I can't film a regular video until I'm back. Also, I don't have the time to do the research necessary to pick an individual stock to buy today. So instead, I'll go the safer route and buy an ETF. One that I can buy with my eyes closed. XIC. This is one of my all-time favorite ETFs. In fact, it's one of the first ETFs I ever bought over a decade ago. This is an ETF I can buy without even looking. Literally, I buy this every single month, no matter what's going on, rain or shine, whether the market is going up or the market is going down. I already made a whole video breaking down this ETF in detail. Give that video a watch. But real quick, XIC just tracks the Canadian market. In fact, this ETF contains 211 of the largest Canadian companies. Think of the big 6 banks, Shopify, Enbridge, the railway companies, telecoms. It's well diversified across all sectors, mainly the financial industry. Let's break it down. About 30% of this fund is in the financials, banks and insurance, 16% in energy, 15% materials, 12% industrial, and 10% tech. That includes Shopify. This way, I get exposure to the entire Canadian market for rock bottom management fees. Literally, they only charge 0.06%. Barely anything. It pays out a solid dividend yield of about 2.3%. Right now it's trading at all-time highs, which is why the yield is a little lower than usual, but we might see a dividend boost. Stay tuned. To me, this dividend is just a bonus. What I really care about is the long-term capital growth. I mean, just look at that graph. It's been a phenomenal year. Yes, we had a giant drop in April when Trump announced his disastrous tariffs, but it fully recovered in a matter of weeks, and now it's back to all-time highs. As I always say, when in doubt, zoom out. 3 years, amazing growth. 5 years, zooming out even further. Just look at that graph. That's the power of focusing on the long term. The short-term drops don't matter. Remember the market crash of 2020 because of COVID, the 2022 interest rate hikes, 2025 Trump tariffs. Those were huge crashes in the moment, but zooming out, they're barely even a blip. Just focus on the long term. So let's buy it and spend all of my available cash, $815, divide by the current share price, 46.95, and rounding down, I could afford to buy 17 shares. Let's buy those. Confirmation window, this trade will cost me $800, and recently Questrade removed all of their commission fees and trading fees, so this won't cost me a thing. Fantastic. Click send order, and boom, order was filled. I bought 17 shares of XIC. There goes all my available cash. Can't do anything with that, so I'm done trading today. All I gotta do now is update my Excel spreadsheet. Sorting by book value, you see XIC is my third largest holding. I have 214 shares. Let's update that. Update my book value, 7,754. That's how much money I've put in, plus reinvested dividends and profits. There we go, up to date. And now you can see that after today, my dividend total got a boost to $7,050 a year. Not bad at all. And remember, this number is going to be growing every single month all on its own. Plus, we'll see extra spikes whenever I put new money in. So those are the two big milestones in my TFSA. I couldn't wait to share with you. If you like this kind of content and you want to see more of my members only videos, the videos with the black thumbnails, hit the join button below. It really does help support this channel. Since I've been a full-time creator, YouTube views and revenue can really fluctuate month to month, but this membership program is by far the most reliable and consistent stream of income that I can depend on. So I really do appreciate it. I've been running this membership for over 5 years now, and I've never increased the price, and I hope I never have to. To join, it costs $5 a month or about $1 a week. Hit the join button down below if you're interested. But don't feel pressured to join. If money's a little tight, I'd rather you save that $5 and invest it in yourself. And you can follow me on Blossom totally for free. You can see all my holdings and track all of my trades. Click the link down below to download Blossom for free. Today, I was showing you my portfolio on Questrade. I'll include links down below to get you a nice sign-up bonus. Along with Moomoo and Wealthsimple, two other brokerages that I recommend for Canadians. Thanks everyone, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of The Canadian in a T-Shirt. Bye guys.